welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 2 Early Access, and today I want to fly to Duna and land back on Kerbin. And I would say let's start the rocket. And as you can see, I accelerated time, so you can see everything, but the video is not too long. And the general plan for this mission is to fly, get an orbit of Kerbin, go to Duna, land and fly back to Kerbin, and under the big fairing that you can see on the top of the rocket, there is a mothership and the Duna lander. The mothership will bring us to Duna, get an orbit around Duna, and then the lander will detach from the mothership and land safely on Duna and fly back in Duna Orbit and go to the mothership, and then the Kerbal, Valentina Kerman, will get out of the Duna lander and go in the mothership, and then the mothership will go back to Kerbin. So here you can see we have an exit of Kerbin, and in a few seconds we will be in a Kerbol Orbit. Kerbol is the sun in Kerbal Space Program. Here I'm doing the maneuver to get to Duna. It's very hard to get it right, and it took me about 30 minutes in real time. And here we have the encounter with Duna, and now I'm getting an orbit around Duna. So there was a big cut, and now we see the lander, the Duna lander, and we're approaching Duna's atmosphere. The lander is designed to slow it down with the parachutes and then use in the last second the engine to get the last meters per second done and land safely and soft on the ground. (40,000 meters). Duna's atmosphere begins at 50,000 meters, and we're now at 38. And we have a speed of 1,040 meters per second. Here we see the orbit. The periapsis is slowly shrinking. Now I'm accelerating time 4 times. Oh, the lander has flipped. That's because of the fins on the back. They catch the air and hold the rocket prograde. Only 19,000 meters. And we have a speed of 1016 meters per second. And it's going down slowly. $15,000. Now the parachutes are activated and the parachutes are waiting until it's safe to open. That's about 12,000 meters when the parachutes open. Yeah, they opened. Now we are slowing down very fast. Only 600 meters per second. Now the landing legs are deployed. Okay, we are now at 3,500 meters and we have a speed of 175 meters per second. Now the drogue chutes are open and produce more drag. And the big yellow parachutes should open now. Yes, they opened. And we're slowing down to a speed of about 20 meters per second. only 400 meters until touchdown, and we have a speed of 14 meters per second. Now we use the engine to get rid of most of our speed, and landing. So it's lagging a bit because the game has to calculate everything. And now we landed safely and soft on the ground. Now Valentina Kerbin just has to plant a flag, and we will now deploy the ladders so Valentina Kerbin can go to the surface of Duna. Now we are on a EVA, and she just has to go down. The Kerbals are very slow. And Valentina Kerbin is on the surface of Duna. It's the first Kerbal on Duna and the first woman on Duna. There it is, the flag. Next we will try to fly to the Mothership and go back to Kerbin. But first we have to start the engines and reach a stable orbit around Duna. And Valentina Kerbin is now on the way back into the vessel. And she's in. Now we just got rid of the landing legs. It's just dead weight, and it's aerodynamically not that great. I don't have max throttle because I have to hold on the right point, so my trajectory is in line with the Mothership. Now we have max throttle. We're at 10,000 meters and we have a speed of 530 meters per second. And we have an apoapsis of 60,000. But the Mothership is around 70,000, so we have to get it higher. And now we will wait until we're at the apoapsis and do the acceleration burn to circularize the Duna Orbit. We are now out of the atmosphere and we will time warp to this point. And now we will do the acceleration burn. Oh, there was... If I'm pressing Shift a bunch of times, which is the same button to accelerate, there is this weird message. So now we have a stable orbit, and we just have to dock to the Mothership. Just to get the maneuver right was about an hour in real time. So now the maneuver is done and just 1.2 kilometers away from the Mothership with a speed of 26 meters per second relative to the target. And in a few seconds we will burn to get rid of the speed. So now we're slowly approaching the target. And now Valentina Kerbin is out of the vessel, and with the EVA jetpack we can go to the Mothership. We are approaching very fast and we overshot it. And one funny thing, the Kerbals can stand on the vessels, and now I just got squished into the parts and flew away, but I'm slowly approaching. $70 meters, and I hit. And the Kerbals are very resistant to high speeds. After Valentina is in the pod, we have to leave Duna's Sea of Influence and get a Kerbin encounter. Come on, you can do it. A little bit to the right. Okay. She's standing on it and... Valentina's in the port. Finally. Here we see the Kerbin encounter. I cut the maneuver away. Accelerating time. And now we are burning, so we have a stable orbit around Kerbin. Periapsis is going down. And 197,000 meters, and on the periapsis we will burn. So we fall into the atmosphere of Kerbin. And periapsis is down, so we will fall in the atmosphere. So now we will crash on the planet, but we have parachutes on the pod. And from the big rocket that you saw in the beginning is just this little pod with one Kerbal left. And we landed successfully on Kerbin. And with that, I would say bye.